then we will have we will talk about FAN7 in case, like, we will try to see if someone wants to host FAN7 or someone, or we will find a different way for doing it. We have then lunch break. Then we have a workshop, 2 workshops and 4 talks in the afternoon. And then at 4, we will have the closing ceremony, and then we will have also party. Okay, so everybody is welcome to organize your own party in your own location. We are going to have a party here. I think that we are going to have hot pot, right, in the Fab Lab. Yeah, so I'm already hungry, and if you were in Shanghai, so why we're playing all this video of walking around, because the FAN event is also going to see another city, going to see a new place. So I know that a lot of you would have loved to be here in Shanghai. And so if you were here, we would have probably had breakfast right now. And this is the best way to have breakfast in Shanghai. Let's see how we like to have breakfast here. Play. So coming, you can make the video big. Coming right out of the subway station. We don't stop at Starbucks. We don't stop at McDonald's. We don't like this. We don't want any of the industrial food. And we go right straight to the what is the translation for German? Bean is like a pancake. Is a more there's a pancake. You can have an egg. The basic one just have 1 egg and some spicy sauce if you want. You can have some. This is the spicy sauce. You can have some what's it called? Waffle in it, yes. Oh, this guy added something I never added this one. So you can ask what you want. You can have salad, you can have some crunchy waffle like this one, you can have like other fried stuff in it, you can have meat, you can have a sausage, you can do the one you like. And then roll it, cut it, turn it, put it into a bag, and then you can eat it on your way to FAN6. Okay. And turn off the video. All right, so that's how we have breakfast here in Shanghai. So I think we are ready to start the panel for this morning, but we have also a special guest that is joining us to say hello to the network. He's joining us from Bali. Thomas, are you online?
Yes, I am. Good morning. Oh,
good morning.
Yes, it should be fine now, right? Hello?
Hey, yeah, we can hear you, we can hear you.
Okay. Ciao Saverio. Come stai?
Bene.
Ciao. Selamat pagi. Buenos dias. Like in any other language. So should I go? Thank you. First of all, thank you so much. And also congratulations to Jeff, to you, to all the team for running an event in such difficult situation. I know what is an event organizing is. I cannot imagine how is organizing an event in the middle of this kind of a convoluted times. So cheers for that and for making possible for everyone to reconnect. Also, I have to apologize for not reaching out before. For me, it's new to be located in Asia. So I guess that I am part now of the Fab Asia network. I'm getting used to it. I kind of am mentally attached still with other regions of the world, but slowly I'm getting more connected to this amazing side of the world, and really excited to be relocated here. And also I was thinking this morning that probably the last time when we met a lot of us in person was at the FAN6 in Seoul. If I'm not mistaken. So it's really nice to reconnect with many of you again. So I just wanted to share a couple of developments and you know, to shout out and say hi. As you know, I have been involved in the Fab Lab network for many years, you know, supporting the development of new Fab Labs in Latin America, in Europe, especially also helping kick off the Fab Academy program many years back, and now amazingly run by a distributed team. There's some of you involved on that already. And more lately, I've been promoting and also pushing forward the whole Fab City agenda, right? So I wanted to share with you some of the latest developments, both at the global scale, but also at the local scale in relationship with what could happen in Bali and Indonesia. So at the global scale, the Fab City Global Initiative is really on fire. We have a fully operational foundation since 2018 legally, but you know, functionally since 2020. For the first time in history, Fab City managed to have like a paid staff working on it, starting in 2021. I have to insist on this. We launched the project for the first time in 2011 in the Fab conference in Lima, and it took us 10 years to get like the first staff member being paid by the Fab City Foundation. So we are gonna be, you already probably gonna be seeing, you have been seeing, and also you're gonna be seeing more progress on that. We're gonna be working with more support to the existing Fab cities, on building more knowledge, more events, and more opportunities to develop the local Fab City agenda everywhere that is actually functioning, and also supporting the new ones coming on. Part of that is the organization of the yearly event, and probably this is a good connection with Bali. Next year, well, this year already, I'm still like in 2021, 2022, October this year. Put it in your calendars. It might be between the 7 and 16, but I cannot say that it's 100% closed. But that's the date for the Fab City Summit Bali. It will be just about 10 days here in the island, having a more formal event, but also opportunities to go across the island to connect with different initiatives related with local manufacturing, circular economy, and social innovation. And that's happening just before the G20 meeting, which is the global meeting of the biggest 20 economies of the world. That is happening also in Bali 2 weeks after our event. And then that relates also with an announcement that hopefully that this year you're going to be seeing the Fab Lab Bali coming to life. We are establishing a very interesting collaboration locally with the Jim Barang Hub, the CAST Foundation, and the Habibi Center here in Bali. And part of that collaboration is the creation of a Meaningful Design Group, which is a joint venture in order to try to relocate design approaches and technologies in contexts in which cultural diversity is very important. In Bali is one of the examples of that. And finally, and I just finished, Saverio, is also to share with you some news that maybe some of you already saw in the blog of Fab City. Check it, blog.fab.city, and that in the next coming days are going to be more details about the new Master in Design for Distributed Innovation that we are going to be offering for the network as an opportunity to expand, I would say, the potential of educational programs in a distributed manner. We have seen how Fab Academy has been so important for the network. We're taking like one step further and trying to link the potential of distributed education to set up a distributed innovation ecosystem focused on the Fab City objectives. No? So this master is going to be accredited fully by a university, most probably the Polytechnic University of Catalonia, but we can somehow receive some ideas about that accreditation model. Tonji and Jeff has been part of the conversation on that, and hopefully we're going to be fully participating nodes together with the city of Hamburg, Paris, Santiago de Chile, Puebla in Mexico, Bali as well. So we hopefully have, we have the opportunity to build this dream of making a university campus that is the size of a planet. So thank you again, Saverio and Jeff, for giving me the opportunity. Very last minute. Again, sorry for not reaching out before. It's great to reconnect with many of you and to be more connected with this Fab Asia network.
Thank you, Thomas, for joining. Last minute is our club. We are last minute club, right?
We are procrastinators, I think. Like this is a common denominator of the Fab people, right? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Hope to visit you in Bali soon when traveling.
October, remember, October.
All right, so let's go now into our panel. We have 4 amazing speakers. Okay, so I want to give a little disclaimer. The title of this panel, which is Post-COVID-19 Fab Life, is kind of like a large container for many things, right? But we really think that we had these last 2 years we all had our own experience. Some of us reset, some of us shut down, some of us flourished, some of us find their own way. So this is more or less a way to take a look at what have we been done and what of the things we've done we will keep doing after in the future. Okay, and maybe if there will be another time like this, what will we do? And so the first panelist is Arundhati. She's live, I think. And do you want us to play the video, or do you prefer to do a live presentation? Hello.
Sorry. Hello. Good morning.
Hey, hello, Arundhati. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. You can present my video.
Okay, so Jeffrey, we can share the screen, and remember to do the audio thing. Okay.
Namaste everyone. I'm Arundhati Zadav from India. Before start with the presentation, first of all, I would like to share my screen. Yes, and this is okay. So I'm Arundhati Zadav. I have completed my engineering in electronics. Then I did Fab Academy from Vigyan Ashram, and after that I have started my career journey in a STEAM education. My current organization is a Muktangan Exploratory Science Center, which is located in Pune, Maharashtra. My designation is Innovation Hub in charge, and my core interest is work for a STEM education. Our today's topic is how Muktangan Exploratory sustained during a COVID pandemic for a STEM education. Agenda is I'll talk about Muktangan Exploratory Science Center, then Muktangan Exploratory Program, then how we work during a COVID pandemic, and our new normal. Muktangan Exploratory established in 1992, and it is a unique science education center for young children for generating excitement to explore and understand world around us, developing a scientific temperament and building a scientific skills and ability. This is our Muktangan Exploratory. You can see in the picture. We have 7 labs, so physics, chemistry, maths, biology, earth science, electronics, computer. Then we have an innovation hub. Innovation hub is similar like a fab lab. We have all digital fabrication tools. So we make our kits and prototype by using these all machines. We have a robotics lab, and also we have a mechanical workspace. So these are the two main pillars of exploratory. One is the science center and another is the innovation hub. So mainly science center is work for the developing the scientific temperament in a students through observation and by understanding the concept, etc. And innovation hub mainly focus on a creativity, problem solving skill, technical skill development, creative thinking, and developing a innovative product and solutions. So these are the main two pillars of exploratory. Now let's see some programs which we are every year we are taking offline. So first is the science foundation program. This is a 1 year program where students get exposure of all 7 labs, that is the physics, chemistry, maths, biology, earth science, electronics, and computer. Then we are providing a guidance for various project competition. Then innovation hub mainly working on the skill development program. Then we organized every year summer and winter workshop. Then then from last 4 years we have started organizing the carnival for parents and child. So we planned various activities for both of them, and they enjoy with their kids. The parents enjoying with their kids. Then one day with the Muktangan Exploratory. So many visitors came to Muktangan Exploratory, and we engaged them with the various activities. So day with the Muktangan Exploratory. And also we organize a study tours. You can see these all pictures where students are doing activities. Now let's see how we sustain during the COVID-19. So in the year 2020, 2020, when initially the pandemic actually starts, the lockdown gets started. At that time, Muktangan Exploratory starting giving a demo of various science activities. Actually, because of this, students getting idea about the scientific concepts. So we took some Facebook live sessions for these all things. After that, we conducted a session using a household material. So there is a lot of household material which we can use to understand the science concept. So we used the household material for understanding the scientific concept. Then we conducted a summer workshop using household material and also by using the software. Then we conducted online project competition. Actually, because of digital, spreading all over Maharashtra or all over India is a very easier task for us. And for that purpose only, we organize this competition, toy making competition. We gave name to that competition as a Khel Khel Me. So it is a toy game making competition. Then we develop 70 activities during this COVID pandemic. So we develop that activities and we document that activities. When this lockdown gets over, we will use that activity for our regular curriculum. Now then we make some kits in house and we conducted session by using the kits. Now let's see the activities which by using the household material. So now you can see there is some kite activity, catapult is there. Then making bubbles. Then balloon activities are there. Yeah. So these are some pictures of household material activities. Then we conducted some activities by using the various softwares. So you can see digital literacy, then 3D designing, then game development using a Scratch, virtual electronics by using the Tinkercad, then PCB designing, mobile app development by using the MIT app. So these all softwares we used and we have conducted various workshops during the summer, and we got a good response. Around 80 students were participated for this workshop online. Yeah. Um, then with the household material and with the software, we did our job very well. But we have an innovation hub and we can develop our kits by our own. So we thought that we can make our kits and we provide them to our students, and students will use that kit and perform that activity. So these are some programs which we have planned. So one is the computer club. Actually, for computer club, there is a no need of kit. Then a robotics club, yes, we develop kit. Electronics club, we develop a kit. For a STEAM club, we develop a kit in-house. Then yearly membership for project-based learning. So these all programs are based on the kits. And you can see these are the kits which we have made. Yeah. So in the first picture, we have developed almost 200 kits and we send them to students. Then the second one is for electronics club. The third one is for the STEAM club. And the fourth one is actually we have conducted one Christmas tree workshop for small kids. So they attach or assemble these all parts together and decorate that tree. So these all parts cut from the laser cutter. Now you can see how students made that activity using our kit. So yes, in online mode also students got a very good experiential learning. So these are all our activities. Now we can see the impact. So total 500 plus students attended the online programs. 750 students were participated in the project competition. And currently 100 plus students are taking a benefit of online activity with the kit. So yes, during a COVID pandemic, we did a very good job from our side, and parents also happy because only theoretical sessions are done by the school and students are now getting bored by just looking towards the screen and all. But because of these all sessions, because of these all programs, now students are engaging in the activities. So this is a very plus point from parents side. So they are happy and they will continue these all programs with us. And our new normal for Muktangan Exploratory. So very first thing I would like to mention here, before COVID, we never imagined that we can go online. Okay, but because of this situation, our two modes are now open. One is the online mode. So now we can reach to outstation students also. So we can go for the all Maharashtra or all India also, or maybe in your country. So with a kit, you make your own kit and we will give you a training. And the second mode is the offline, which is for Pune students. So these two modes are now open from Muktangan Exploratory. And our now main focus is using a innovation hub machines. We will more work on a kits for teaching it. Yes, thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Arundhati. That was very nice. You already have many questions in the chat, but I would say let's keep the question and answer after we have seen all the panel, or what do you think? We want to do it? Yeah, let's go on with all the panelists, and then we note down all of the question and answer, and then we do all together. I also have many questions. I noted down questions for you. Okay, and thank you for waking up so early, because in India, I think it's 7 right now. So, or 8. I mean, it's early, so earlier than here. So I hope you had breakfast. Okay, next presentation is from Mark Lucas. I think you are online. Do you want us to play the video or you want to do a live presentation?
Uh, may I request that you would going to play the video?
Okay, so Jeffrey, you can play the video.
Okay, so uh, hello everyone. So I'm Mark Lucas. So I'll be presenting my topic, digital fabrication, teaching digital fabrication to students, to high school students during the COVID-19 pandemic. So by the way, I'm a teacher from Philippine Science High School, Ilocos Region Campus, and I'm also with the Fab Ilocos or the Negosyo Center, Fab and Co-working Space, Ilocos Region. Okay, so it's the only fabrication laboratory in Ilocos Region. We are based in the Philippines. So this is my profile. So I'm a teacher. So I'm a high school teacher at Philippine Science High School, Ilocos Region Campus. And at present, I'm the academic unit head of technology unit of the school. So it's Philippine Science High School, Ilocos Region Campus. I was the former FabLab manager of FabLab Ilocos from school year 2016 up to 2020. So, and if you would like to contact me, this is my email address. So this would be the topic or the outline of my presentation. So what are the challenges that we have encountered when we teach digital fabrication during the COVID-19 pandemic? And then the overview of the digital fabrication topics that we have in our subjects, and then the method and tools used in teaching that one during the COVID-19, well, during COVID-19 pandemic, and then the possible improvements, because there are, if we have challenges, there are also improvements. Okay, by March of 2020, so the President of the Philippines declared enhanced community quarantine throughout the Luzon. The Philippines is divided into Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. So the entire Luzon is placed into enhanced community quarantine. So this is totally known as the lockdown. So obviously, if you are in lockdown, students are not allowed. You don't have to. Students are not allowed to go to school. So even employees. So with that, they are encouraged. No? So they were encouraged to have government and private sectors have limited to work at home arrangement. So we have here the work from home arrangement based on that particular enhanced community quarantine. And with that, we're expecting that the enhanced community quarantine will be lifted. So by that time, by April 7, it was again extended until April 30 to stop now the COVID-19 spread. But up until then, it will again be extended. So by April 30, it was again extended into another extension. So with that scenario, the mode of delivery that we have changed. So instead of doing face-to-face in delivering our instruction, we were we shifted into remote blended for online learning. So that's the reason why for us in our topics, like the topics in digital fabrication, how are we going to deliver it using remote or blended learning? So with that, those are the challenges that we have encountered. So as I've said, we have the lesson delivery shifted from face to face to online or blended learning. And then some students do not have their own computers. Okay. This is a common scenario, most especially if the area that you are located has a lower socioeconomic status. Obviously, not all of the students have a computer. Then another one is that they have a problem with internet connection. So students have problem with internet connection, or popularly known as digital divide. So some internet service providers do not go to their place, especially if you are into mountainous areas or there's no signal or telecommunication signals in your place. So these are the challenges. And then another one is the use of learning management system. So learning management system have become popular at that time. So you can use free learning management system. So there's a problem now with teachers who do not know how to use learning management systems like Google Classroom. So it's a very basic example, Google Classroom, of a learning management system. And with that, these are the topics or the subjects that we have delivered during the COVID-19 pandemic. So for grade 7, so we have your subject book is AdTech 1. So AdTech stands for Arts, Design, or Drafting, and Technology. So the topics that we delivered here is design thinking, and then 2D design and 3D design. For grade 8, they also have their AdTech 2. So same, we still give them topics on design thinking. Then they also create their own trebuchet. So it's part of it. And then basic electronics and electrical circuits. So we deliver it by online. So the shifting now from face to face, you convert it now into blended or remote learning. Then the third one, for grade 11 or grade 12, you have there the subject technology. So this is an elective subject for grade 11 or grade 12. So it's their option if you would like to take it. So from that, we are also delivered to discuss to them design thinking. We do also vector graphics, most especially into two-dimensional, then 3D model, then 3D slicing. So this is a discussion that we had with all from grade 7, grade 8, grade 9. So we give them an overview of the design thinking process by Stanford B schools. So we give them all. So how would we apply it? Application. For grade 8, we give them an application on how will you apply it in creating your trebuchet. But for grade 7, we give them an application on how can you improve a certain wallet or how can you improve a certain process. So it's a simple process, but the very basic is for them to improve a certain wallet for a certain person or from one of their household, like for instance, their mother or their father. But for grade 11 or 12, it's an application for you to create a certain output. It's a innovative solution that would help your community or that would help also your parents. One particular is create a work from home furniture for someone you know or from your classmates or since you are in lockdown, we suggest that they do it with their family member. So some create the furniture with their parents or with their parent, sister or brothers. So we give them an overview of the design thinking process. Then this is an example. We use SketchUp to provide 2D modeling or 2D models for them to appreciate 2D models for grade 7 students. So for grade 7, the basic is we started with SketchUp. So we use SketchUp for web, so it's a free application. So well, we are an educational institution, so we respect for intellectual property. Then the other one is we teach them also how to create a simple application of two-dimensional model. So Sir Richard is one of my colleague, my former unit head in the technology unit. So this is an example. So an application. By the way, this is not the exact floor plan, but this is just to give a grade 7 student an overview what a floor plan looks like. So this is a 2D model example. Then we also give them an opportunity to create a 3D model. So they extrude what they have created. So it's an extraction for them to have an understanding and feel of their models. Okay. Then we have here, this is an example in which we get the attention of our students. So the design process, so it's an application for the design thinking process or engineering design process. So also deliver this one and then explain it if it is applicable for them. This is an example of a trebuchet. So the one on the right is a trebuchet created by one of our students, and then on the left is a sample testing for us to get target into our trebuchet. So we ask our students to create their own trebuchet at home using popsicle stick, but they can also use barbecue stick or anything that is available from them because you cannot comply because there are certain restrictions in their area, like travel restrictions. So with that, and then give them a video, so a sample video on how to test, and then we ask them to test their trebuchet with a number of times after with a certain requirement, like for instance 1 meter. If the trebuchet will able to reach a target of 1 meter with let's say for instance 5 tries. Okay. Then the other one lately is we teach them also with basic circuits. We use Tinkercad. Again, since we are an educational institution, we use something that we do not able to violate intellectual property. So we use Tinkercad, so it's an online mode, online software. So we teach them how to measure or how to connect the circuit using Tinkercad, and then how you're going to connect it with based on a certain diagram, and then how we do transfer it into a simple breadboard. And then after that, we also teach them how to measure the voltage, resistance, and also the current. So we were going to compare the values computed and also the values measured to that particular scenario. So comparing it, the measurement, the measured value, and also the computed value. So this is an application for them to have. Appreciate also that even though we are into online learning, we can also do simulations. But it's still better to do actual output. Okay, that's also another one. So we teach them with the 3D applications. Then for grade 11, grade 11, grade 12, we promote this one, Inkscape. Inkscape is a free and open source software. So it's good for vector graphics. So we ask them to download, and it's not that it's a one thing good about Inkscape. It's not an online based, so you can download it and then you can work that one offline, whether you are with internet or with or without internet. So you can use it. Then this is how they created a certain applications. Create what you call that one, vector graphics, in which we also emphasize them you can use it to create the XF files in which you can do apply it with laser cutting later once we do a face-to-face class. They are also being taught to create their own avatar. So this is an example of a requirement. So these are the measurements of the avatar. So using Inkscape, they will going to create their own avatar. So one example, this is a student example. So created by one of our students, created his own avatar. So it's the head, the torso, and then the arms, and then the legs. So you have there 6 parts. So this is the example. So he printed that one. This is an example of the avatar. So using Inkscape, we're able to create that one. Then another one is using also Tinkercad. So before in the grade 8 class is we use Tinkercad circuits, but for grade 11 we use Tinkercad 3D designs. So using Tinkercad, they would be able to create their own name tag with the following conditions. Okay. So this is an example that I have during demonstration. So I demonstrated to them how are they going to use it, and very important here is I emphasize the use of ruler and others. And it's also there are advantages and disadvantages. And these are the things that we see for possible improvements. Well, we know our delivery is not that perfect, but these are possible improvements that we can give. So we bridge digital divide, most especially those students who do not have internet connection or who do not have computers. And then self-care activities for teachers and students. So one thing that we notice is we focus more onto the academic side without neglecting also the mental health considerations of the teachers and students. So as much as possible, one thing that I also proposed for the public is we do not just only focus on digital publication or others, we also focus on to make it balance with the mental health of activities of our students, most especially our fabbers, the one that uses our fab labs for our students. Then we promote also lifelong learning to our students and teachers. So we continuously improve so that we can search for new applications. And then we also join this one, like sharing of best practices, because it's where we can learn and can adapt also new strategies and application also of design thinking in education. So that's all. I think this is now my last slide, and I thank you guys, all of you, for listening my talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark. Very, very nice. I also have a lot of questions that I'm writing down here. So let's and remember that everyone, if you have questions, you can write them in the chat, and we will note them, and then we will have a question and answer. Now, we have had two experience about education, so like education activities in the Fab Lab. The next presentation will be from Young-Woo Song, is in Seoul, Korea. I have to say something. This couple of years, pandemic, maybe no access to the lab, maybe people had to stay home, and so for education we see how in this experience they try to make kids to send home to the students or try to switch to online. But at the same time, for people like me or like Young-Woo, we magically had a Fab Lab with no people that was only for us, that we could actually finally have the time to do a lot of things in the Fab Lab because we didn't have to take care of all the people coming in. So Yongwoo will show us what he has been doing as a professional. So using the Fab Lab as a production site, a local production. Right, Yongwoo? So it's your turn. You can share your screen and show us what you got.
Okay, okay. Hello guys, can you hear me?
Yes, we
Okay.
can hear you.
Okay, I'll share my screen. Oopsie daisy. Wait a minute. Sorry for the interruption. I have to allow Zoom to share my screen.
Do you want us to share?
Yes, can you, is the video on? Then I can just speak while the video is on.
Okay, so Jeffrey, can you play Yongwoo's video but no audio, right? You don't need the audio from the video, or you want
No,
it?
yeah, we want the audio, but there's a background music, but turn it a little down so I can,
Okay,
my
so you
voice
can
doesn't.
play the video but with a little lower sound, right? Yeah, we share the video, but maybe the sound a little lower,
Yes.
the sound of the video. Okay.
Okay, I want to first ask you guys, what is your first make in the film lab? And please don't say it Pikachu from the 3D printer. Well, my one wasn't. Oh. And you can just play the video. Okay, I started from the FemLab Seoul. It's a non-profit FemLab and a Seoul City-based FemLab called Seoul Innovation. And now I work in a professional studio called Vepro Studio, and we work in a 0-0 space, which is supposed to be a shared space, but during COVID, we cannot share. Now I want to talk to you guys about my life as a fabricator back in the old days when we used to hang around with kids, but now I work in the terms of slogan with Create for Creators. This is our workspace with laser cutter, lathe. Every single machine is for metal workspace. From metal laser, CNC machines, sheet metal brake machine, welding machine. We tend to join metal plus wood and approach new materials. And our friendly friend wood also to make product. Our daily task is, of course, CNC. We can do this all day. And due to the metal laser, we could approach the product with like metal with more durabilities. It could be made with the simple like 2D drawings of an aluminum cut for designers, or this guy just wanted to make dividers from inches to millimeters because he didn't have specs for millimeters. And a designer who wanted the CNC milled ABS for good quality finish, and another CNC for custom made. And this is for the engineering student who wanted the aluminum spacers. And we can do this because we have precise laser cutting machines and we are putting the machine into the limits. Yes. Another coolant. We tend to make parts for custom. It can be just only one part or two parts. It is very small quantity. So everyone who wants to make it are looking for a studio to make it. This is like for teaching satellite like assembly stuff, but made with the aluminum. It should be have good quality also. This one is for injection molding, showing businesses, and we had to mill it nice with good quality so the guys can see the fluid going through. And in another time, we got project requests about simple furniture with DIY custom design with metal. And my fellow academic skills came into real world when I had to make small prototypes. We had to take in notes. We have to take care of improvements. Is there any variables? We have to simulate the assemblies. Is there any good possibilities that we can improve the product by using maybe some custom accessories, because already made one is too expensive. So when we did the scale model with real material, now we had to build one in a real size. Okay, just hop onto it just to see if it's okay for human. I'm hopefully it's okay. And it's a capsule hotel made with all the electronics and metal that has been fabricated inside a studio. And it's actually a nice capsule hotel, and now it's built in somewhere in the Seoul. Now, as a studio, we had to move something. A product has to be installed at some place for the users to really work. And Fab Studio, we attend the science exhibition, and this theme was called the history of hospital, that we have to make the parts from the back in the old days, how they had to make it. So this, and with some of the parts, was every single exhibition was another final project of Fab Academy. And while we were doing it, I had to change the perspective. First, I had to learn my limits of my machines and my design and custom design and the customer's design. But in the studio, I had to know the maximum limit. There's a nice little finger of mine. And yeah, it is essential to know the maximum. And tolerance within allowance. What I want to emphasize is we cannot do this all day, and we have to make good prototype in one try. And if the quality is not good enough, we have to do it again. And because it is for the real usage or real experimental stuff for another professional guys who want to do FRP molding or some other things. So we always try to find new material to have nice, good finish. As you can see, the left one is way good looking than the other one. And of course, it is for the mold. I'm fully aware of the molding master of Saverio. He should know it, that it is a nice, good looking product. Thank you. And sometimes we do stuff, but it is 90% okay for us. So again, the quality is crucial. So we change the materials to have a nice little finish. Outside of FemLab, I want to emphasize that finishing your product is very important, including simple painting, printing, spraying, drying, sanding, painting. You have to take in terms in timeline that you have to really take care of this final step, because it make it last longer, prevent scratch, and looks really nice when you have a final touch on your final product. And normally customers don't really good care of it. See how we take good care of it with using the gloves. And every single product we make, we deliver to the customers, should have no scratch, no burr, and it should be smooth, nice, and no dent. And before you do the final touch, please inspect your dimension, because sometimes you may have misaligned the product or miscalculated thing. And this is a nice little aluminum part for the apartment, and very custom made with a real nice, good looking anodized film. So even though we work as a studio, we work as a family attitude also. This one lady came with this Lego block who wanted to make a LED stand. And when it got to the real commercial studio, she got a price for $300, which was too expensive. We helped these kind of students to have proof of concept just into the lowest price. It costed about $30. And some parts are refused in the local machinists because it is too difficult, and they don't want to do it because it's a waste of time for them. But we want to approach this difficult request in terms of, because we want to help people. Reason it is too hard is we have to have all the jig as possible, and it takes a real consuming time to make only one part, and it is only one part. And I think this experiment, I tested about 4 different jigs, and yeah, there's nice little assembly. And this is one and only custom fabrication, and we do our studio only does this because we we were former users of the FAMLab. We still have contact with the FAMLab because this one is for another FAMLab in Chuncheon, and we make the furniture that is dedicated for the makers and furniture for the maker spaces. Because the former furnitures were not good looking, it was simple green, and we tend to bring the design and nice good quality to the makers. Thanks for listening to my presentation, and it was Young from Pepper Studio 00 Space, and thanks Saverio, Jeff, for having me as a speaking panel.
Thank you, Young-woo. Stay, yeah, don't go away, because I already have questions for you, and also the audience was like, ooh, wow, ooh. We can really see how passionate you are about finishing your products, and no scratch, and right dimension.
Okay, thank you.
So the next person that is going, the last presenter is Ted. I think everybody knows Ted Hung from Taiwan. Ted is like, how can we define? Ted is the father of the Asia network, the uncle of the Asia network. You are now, yeah, he's father of the Asia network. Yeah, a real father. So Ted, please take the. Do you want to share your screen?
Yes, yes.
Or you just talk? Up to you.
Here?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Wait. Wait a minute. Okay, I'm sure. Can you see my screen?
Yes. Go on.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Ted from Fab City Taipei. And well, the past 2 years is quite different. My life is quite different, because my daughter was born. So let's talk about what before and after COVID. Just like every other COVID did affect us a lot. So in the beginning of 2020, we actually noticed the effect of COVID a lot, quite aware of COVID in the very beginning, because we had bad experience on SARS a long time ago. And so in Taiwan, we have a group of open source medical supply. It's just like every other place in the world, like Fab Lab is doing a lot of things related to medical supply. So people are making masks, face masks, and also like a different type of ventilators. But in fact, Taiwan probably the only place didn't, or New Zealand, so like we didn't really get affected by COVID that much. Like after June 2020, we don't have much case, almost like 0 cases in Taiwan. This is a whole schedule from the very beginning, from the January to 2020 until today. So we have almost a year, it's very nice and clean. I would say we just live as usual daily life, and nothing different in the lab. We still go to the lab to work on our project, and we still have a lot of in-person events happening. But things change after in 2021, May 16th. Like you can see there's a spike, but although, compared with a lot of countries, still nothing. So the maximum is only 600 a day, something like that. So this is what happened in the beginning, like the open source medical supply group, Taiwan group. We still use labs, and we make a different variation of COVID supply. But later on, they just feel, all right, we actually did have a lot of supply. We have many enough face mask to use, and they even send to other country. So we just still planning to make some things bigger. So at the end of 2020, we decided we want to make a, because we got the chance to host a Maker Faire Taipei finally, like the thing we always want to do for many years. So we get the license from US, like we finally able to host Maker Faire Taipei, and we plan everything along the way. Like we definitely want to make a in-person event, a real event like before. But this is a picture from 2019, and we plan that as like there's nothing happened for about COVID, and this is a things like we even want to make it bigger. We booked a bigger venue, like inside just in front of our lab. Actually, it's a one of the biggest exhibition hall in Taipei, and because maybe you probably know, like we were inside. Fab Taipei is inside a former football stadium, so the red area is the proposal venue for the Maker Faire, and the date was scheduled on the end of October. So this is a whole plan. But as I said, like everything changed after May 16th. After May 16th, like just go back with the spike. Oh, I didn't use face full screen. So after that, before that, actually, we do have enough vaccine supply in Taiwan, and nobody wanted to take vaccine because there's no virus. But after that, everybody want to get vaccinated, and there's short of vaccine. So it's just been a very interesting period. Like I would say, yeah, interesting probably is not the word, but it's just a very awkward period. Like from May to the end of August, like there's no real lockdown, but people lock ourselves down like at home because there are no vaccine and there's virus out there. And we are just waiting and complaining about our government, like why you don't buy more vaccines. So during that time, we are just kind of like waiting. So my life get drastically changed. Like before that, I still like work every day to go to our lab to work every day. But after the pandemic happened in May, like I have to stay at home, and because I have a 1-year-old kid, it's very hard to work. I mean, I cannot even take my computer out because my daughter will want to play with my computer. So this is a very tough time. Like I become a full-time dad, and because my wife is also teaching, so when she's teaching online, I have to take care of the baby and try to not let her crying or anything. It's a very weird time, very family time. Like we're just stay home and doing nothing. Basically, it's like that. So what happened to our event? Our proposed venue, I think, is from September. It become the largest vaccination site in Taipei. It can take, it can shoot like I think 14,000 people a day. So it's become very I would say popular. Like every day, there's a lot of people like not go to our lab. They come to here to take vaccine and to get vaccinated. So and what about our event? It's like we cannot do anything because we lost the venue to the city government. They just take it over, and then they said, all right, you have to postpone your event. So right now we get a problem because since we're already, we have to make a fair, but then we don't have a venue now. Then everything, we just make it online. It's just pretty much like this event. Yeah, everything was pre-recorded, and then maybe only several parts are live broadcast, and it's just like a online forum as a Maker Faire. And besides that, we still have we also have a online exhibition. This is a Gather Town interface. Like, we actually make a very similar kind of like gaming experience. Like, people can walk through the venue, like each booth, and talk to people. If you meet people, you can just directly interact with them. The booth's still there. You can go to makerfair.taipei website. You can still log in and to see all the booths there. It's about like, we got 80 or 70 booths there. And during that period, I think we opened it for a week, but it's still there because it's online event. You could just log in and take a look. It's pretty fun. And then we even have a party, like online party, like at the end of a venue, at the end of the whole week. And just people like keep talking and interact with each other. It's a very special experience. So I want to talk about like what I feel after this period, like because our life is getting back to normal now, but still, like, the world is still, the pandemic still happening and it's still going on. I just want to share some of my thought about the whole thing. Like, after lockdown, like in Taipei, I feel like more people tend to work at home. Like, although we still can let people come in to use our lab, but only people who are pay residency. I mean, they do have they have their own workspace in our lab. They still come to working on their project. But although we still open to public, but there's not many people, not as many as the lockdown before, because for some small machines, like 3D printer is getting cheaper and cheaper, and laser cutter also. So a lot of people the human behavior just changed. Like, they don't really need to, it kind of feels like they don't really need the lab that much, because they are used to work at home. And so what is the situation? What is the tendency, like, especially like a lot of things now you can make at home. So people who really want to make stuff, they build their own home lab. That's what I feel the trend like happened here. And a lot of online tools like PCB making. Even myself, I tried to do a PCB in the lab, but then I realized if you go further, if you want to make a really complicated PCB, it's not feasible. I mean, it's not it's not practical to make by yourself. I mean, like, you can, especially like some website, you could just, they can get the component and have everything welded to do the prototyping for you, and they can send you back quick also. So that's made me think a lot of like, what is really important about Fab Lab? Or is the lab still important, or is the people are more important? So I feel that online community is still it's still growing and it's still like getting attentions. People are just more used to online content and also online interactive after the pandemic. So I don't know. I mean, at this moment, since I've been in Fab Lab for 9 years, I think it's a very, I just want to brought up the discussion. Like I thought, because recently there's an online research like done by, I think it's supported by Fab Foundation. They want to know what is the next step for the Fabless IO. I just wonder, like, if the Fabless IO, if the lab list is still important. I mean, we do want to, although there's 1,000, 3,000, 2,000, 3,000 labs there, but then what's really matter most? Is it the labs, or is it the equipment, or is it people? That's what I are more keen to know. This is, I think we really, especially for the future of Fab Lab, I would think like we actually need something like some tool that can help us to do more collaboration online or around the world. I think that's definitely the way to go. That's just my 2 cents. Thank you.
Maybe you can stop your screen share.
Okay.
That was a lot of nice story with the Maker Faire. Actually, we have we wanted to do for this FAN6 event. We started to explore. Maybe we can do the same, use the same tool that you used. That was a very interesting tool for hosting the event online. And then we just decided to go on Zoom. But I really like your this thing that you said at the end, right? So I think that we can start a discussion among us. We can start from this. Is it more important the machine in the lab, or is it more important to connect the people with the machines? I mean, I have a machine. If you don't have the machine, you come and use my machine and we meet. But if I have a machine and you have a machine at home, I think that we still have to connect to talk about it. We still have to see face to face. So maybe in a cooperation online. And this is something that is also true for the experience of Arundhati and Mark Lucas, where they had to send kits to students, and basically students were having home labs, were having home classrooms. I think it's a very interesting thing. What do you think? I wanted to ask, yeah, I wanted to ask this thing to Arundhati. So what are I mean, because you had to do online workshops, right? You send kids to students, and then you had to make a workshop online. So what was the difficulties in making a workshop complete? I mean, did you, if you cannot be there physically to help, what are the difficult parts?
Okay, so the first of all, actually, our lab or Muktangan Exploratory establish only the vision is student must have to do the experiential learning. Okay, so our main part is that. So initially, when we perform some demos in front of students, at that time, students also want to do that activity. And actually, by doing empathy or by doing a customer survey, we can say the parents and students students are our real customer. So we ask them, are you able to do with the kids? So yes, and because of Innovation Hub, so Innovation Hub is kind of a fab lab. So we actually don't face any difficulty while making a kit because of these machines only. So we can make a lot of kits and we send them by courier. And some of the actually parents came to exploratory and they took this all material at their home. But the time when we decide the activity, that part is quite challenging because there were some limitations on some particular concept. So maybe we convert that all concept in the smaller DIY activities and we send them. So basically, no that big challenge
So I
to
think that,
making a
I
kit.
mean, what's the way you overcome these kind of difficulties is to maybe go case to case, make sure like actually know that that person can actually do that task. Like, so is a case to case, making
Yeah.
sure that each person is on track.
Yes,
That's
and I would like to mention one more thing here. So before COVID pandemic, we actually never imagined that we will go digitally like this. Okay, but because of this, we switch this mode, which the online mode. Okay, and from now onwards, because Muktangan Exploratory is working in a Pune, so the students are come to exploratory. It is from only Pune city. But now we have students from all over the Maharashtra and all over the India. So this is one of the benefit of kids. So now students taking a benefit of all the kit at different places. So we are now opening the two modes, offline and online. So maybe you all labs can take a benefits of our kids. We are open for that.
I think that all of us that have been making some education content, we all had to figure out a way, right?
Yes.
And I wanted to ask a question to Mark, because you say in the future, like one of the challenge you had was the digital divide, and also it's a challenge for your future. Are you already thinking? Are you already trying to find solution for bad internet or not having a computer available? Because here we are saying home labs, right? We are saying you have machines at home, but in your case, you are saying I don't even have a computer at home. So how do you see this? It's for even if we are in Shanghai and we have maybe it's easy to have high-speed internet. For us, we still have sometimes problems with connections to maybe some websites. So it's an interesting way. How can we solve this problem of the digital divide or accessibility?
Maybe one way is for us to do the fundraising to give them to give those students who cannot afford really the computer. And then second is we need to survey their area so that if we can check whether they can get signals in which they can connect to the internet, because there are really places here in our place that do not really have they have they really have a what we call it a problem really with getting signals. So maybe the network can help us with that collaborative project for us to bridge that gap. And then one of the alternative that we had here, what we did in the school is we let those students who are within the province, because we have students that are outside the province. So if they are outside the province, we have that particular restrictions. So they have those restrictions needed by the provincial government. So within the province, students within the province, we ask them if they could come to the school so that they can connect to the internet of the school. So that's one way also in which we bridge that gap. And then another one is the school lend them. They did not give them, they just lend them laptops or computers for them to use it during their online classes. But again, the concern with internet connection, well, maybe it's about time for us as a network to bridge those gaps or to help also our government in which how can we help also improve the internet connection services, because well, as you said, whether you have a high-speed internet, you still have problems with the connection. So I think that's all for me. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, yeah, we can talk about machines, but we had machines before. What really made the Fab Lab and the maker movement spread so much was not the machine, but it was the internet, people connecting each other. That's what speed up the process. So we still go back to the people and to the connection, but I think that Yongwoo has got an experience of being able to work with machines that you cannot have at home in a home. I don't think you can have a plasma cutter at home yet, right? But still, there are things that needs to be done with bigger machines and maybe machines that are not easy and not accessible for everyone to use. But what I want to ask you is, how do you with your client? Okay, so you have a client. The client comes with an idea, or you have clients that comes with a file. They already have, so it's easy to access. I mean, you can access the making, the designing of the object, and they only come to you for the production, or people just come with an idea, a sketch on paper, and then you also go on the process of designing.
Prior pandemic, we have those two clients. They have the file.
Sorry, Mark, this was a question for Yongwoo.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. You mentioned people coming with design and people with just an idea, and to ensure it all had to add our little touch in whether their design is finished or not, because from our experiences, even with the skilled like architectures or designers, when they reach out the material and what I mentioned earlier about the final touch, when it really gets into the installation sites, they have to think about the durabilities, and maybe they have come with the mind to just set up a perimeter of just a stand with just a plastic sheet covered with, just to avoid moist from the rough weather. It is not good enough. I mean, we learned from like bad experience of metal rusting from inside and plastic like shattering because of the some drunk man just punching the sign holder, or the good example might be the capsule hotel was broken because some guy just barged in the sliding door, and the wooden door just kind of collapsed, and it made a squeaky noise after. So that's why I mentioned earlier, it is very important for us to make prototypes, like have like lots of simulations before, and we really, it's, to be honest, we slept inside the capsule hotel for a week to really see if there's nothing we missed out or something. So then we reach out for the other machinists or other big factories, or we even change the whole concept and talk with the clients that, hey, this is not possible. This may be a good design, but it is not practical. What's the point of a hotel that you cannot sleep with the loud noise banging from all over the hotel room? So and we don't know it until we really it's a tricky, because sorry, I just left at the Rico's message. Sorry. We actually don't know if even our project is really done. We have to take in terms that there are a lot of variables and a lot of situations that we really need to fix, and that's how our studio got involved in the fixing the machine and designing with better like approach. When is it better to replace just the batteries or just better to replace the doors? And it and coming back to the first question you asked, the designers or any clients who have the ideas or don't have any idea at all, don't think about those procedures. So every step is coming, start from the beginning, start with talk with the clients, and it is our
think in a
goal.
way, I think in a way you also educate the client.
Yes, we okay, just go on and sleep on it. Like, would you pay $30 a night for this capsule hotel? It's like, it's okay. But later after a lot of soundproof, and then he succeeded. And some prototypes may be a little small scale, but the example that I showed you is a prototype also, even though it was a one-on-one scale. So when it got into mass production, we had to think about the stairs because it had to stack up to second floor, and a lot of things got improved, and the installing the thing itself takes a lot of difficulties when it comes to a real small area packed with people. So it is a hardworking. Our studio is there are a lot of fabricators here, designers, but they are also the maker themselves. They all used the FAMLab before, and we all come from the FAMLab background. I mean, and they, from their experience with maker spaces, they are willing to do the hard work. They don't want the workers to do all the jobs, because sometimes the workers don't understand the concept of this hotel should be nice, good looking, but also have some funny thing going on. And I want to just, maybe I talk too much. I want to conclude. The very good example is the science exhibition. Like I showed you guys in the video, our intention was that the kids really experience the concept of this nebulizer, the object that used in the hospital, like a toy. So it had to have a loud noise, banging noise, and it should have a nice little light that like shows how the blood is circulating. It's just for the kids, and our intention is for them to enjoy as maximum as possible with nice, good looking, and it was one good final project for us. Yeah.
Great. Yes. No, I like this. We have a nice mix because from the education experience, what I see is that if you cannot really meet in a physical space, what you do is a software, right? You focus on the software, so you find software. And I think that actually learning and being proficient with the design software is more important than even the machine, because after 20 years, when Arundhati student will go to Korea and he will go to Yongwoo to use the big plasma cutter, this student would have already all the knowledge of what can be done, how it can be designed. And so you don't need to educate your client, because your client is already educated. So I think this is, as also something I was saying yesterday, is a long shot we are taking to finally go there. And I want to ask Ted one thing, because the home lab is becoming a reality, but not for everyone yet. But you had like the people coming to your lab before, now they're spending more time at home because maybe they already have their 3D printers, they don't need to come. But another thing that I see happening, and as my experience as working here in the College of Design, when we have students making their prototype or making their final project, it's really uncommon that a student would use the Fab Lab or the prototype workshop to print their model. They would normally just send it on Taobao, and then order it online, and after 2 days they got the 3D print delivered. And this is something it's a thing that is happening more and more. You don't need to just you don't need even to have the 3D printer. You just need to send the file and then receive the delivery with your 3D printed object. Do you see something like this happening in the future, Ted? Is it something that is happening in Taipei as well, in Taiwan as well?
I think it's always there, like especially for design student in Taiwan, because we still manufacturing a lot of stuff here. And in Taiwan, like a lot of design student, they don't really have hands-on experience on making things. They just design in computer space, but because of a pandemic, that things was more accelerated. Right now, more people are, especially design student or like interactive art student, they just design something in the virtual world. I think it's, I mean, I'm not saying it's good or bad, but the portion of virtual and real world, I think it's shifting right now. That's what I feel. But again, like I think it's just, those things are just tools. Like, as long as we know, we educate students, like let them know how to get benefit from all the different type of tool. The most important thing is still the ideas. Like it's not about your models are perfect or something. It's about how your ideas are good or bad. How do you like to sharpen your idea and make it useful? I think is still important, but maybe in the different period of time, like in different period of time, like there's different steps for different person. Like maybe when you are a student, it's still very important to get a hands-on experience on real material. But maybe in the later, I believe the business in the virtual world is growing and it's happening. And that's why I think just don't try to judge what is better or what is not that now, because things is always shifting back and forth.
Yeah, I think that you're right. You were saying that I had it here and I forgot. You were saying that the student don't, like you don't need at different stage of your life you have different experience. Also, I'm seeing in the chat is Rico sent a little how to say, a little vote for the 3 most important machine for home lab, and we are having a lot of activities in the chat right now.
Can I add something? Because I think
Yeah,
it's
sure.
I think like Fab Lab has its good things, but it has its limitation. Like it's good for prototyping. We could rapid prototype something, like we can verify the idea instantly. That's a good thing for Fab Labs. But if you want to think about, like you really want to go further to make your idea become a real product or a commercial product, that's you still, I mean, I wouldn't do electronic design everything by myself, because there's still a lot of professional like they're out there. You need to get their input from the real profession people. So I think Fab Lab is on the stage, like we're helping people to do prototyping, but at the end, like if you really want to let your idea make bigger change or impact, you still have to cooperate with people with other professionals. That's why I'm saying, like, what is really more important is a platform that could help different type of professionals work together and to make the things come true. So
Yeah, go on.
yeah, so it's not about or what Fab Labs can do or Fab Lab cannot do. Like for instance, or Home Lab can do or cannot do. Like I could always make a smaller scale prototype first, and then if I want to make it bigger and larger, I can still go to a real factory to do that.
Yeah, but as you were saying, the idea is the important thing, right? So the idea is the important thing, but sometimes you have an idea and you think, no, I don't know how to make it. I cannot make it. If I don't know how this thing can be made, I will not make it. At least this was my feeling before I did the Fab Academy. After the Fab Academy, I changed my mind completely. So after being in a Fab Lab and working in a Fab Lab and meeting other people in the Fab Lab, I realized that if I have an idea and I don't know how to make it, I will find a way that how it can be made. So my way can be, I try to make the electronic by myself, or I try to change the way it's made because then this way can be made with a machine, or I will find a person, another person in the network that can help me with more professional things. So I think that the Fab Lab, it's the entry is it just enables everyone to get a broad view of there are so many things that you don't know, and you will never be an expert of all of these things, but in the Fab Labs you have all of them. If you know a little bit of all of them, then you know that things can be done and you will stop thinking it cannot be done. Then you do it online, you buy on Taobao, you do it on you by yourself, you go to a factory, you go to Yongwu, there are many different ways to do things. Do we have some more questions from the? We have question in
Severino?
the chat. Yeah, go.
Yeah. I would mention one program here. Actually, from Innovation Hub. Yeah, last year we have launched one project-based learning program for 1 year. Okay, so currently what happens? Students are confused about their career. So what exactly field I need to choose, or in which workshop I have to participate. So last year we came up with a solution. So we made 10 different kits for 10 different fields. Okay, so the title was 10 month, 10 project and 10 areas. Okay, so every area will cover a new field. So in the first month, we cover a 3D designing. We asked them to send their designs to us and we printed it. So by giving a virtual experience, we print that object and we send them again at their home. So after the second month, we go with the app development, then electronics. So likewise, they open for a 10 different fields. And now when we took a feedback from their side, they some of them are very interested in electronics, some of them are very interested in the designing part. So likewise, we get idea about what they have to do or etc. So that is also one of the good exposure which we are giving to them.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it. It's like what you can do in Fab Academy, basically. You have all these things that I really like the CNC
Yes,
machine, and then you
yes,
just keep
yes,
doing
yes,
that.
yes, yes.
Do we have some questions from the audience here, or someone else want to say something? I think we still have, I mean, we have a little bit of time, but if not, I think in the chat, someone is, no, it's okay. So we can, I think that we had a very nice discussion about future. I think the future is still not clear for all of us, also because we are all mm, dealing with this pandemic in a different way. China has a policy, I don't know, Korea has another policy, in India is still different. So we are all still navigating in our own sea, but at some points, I think that there will be a new normal happening. And new ways of doing things might also be new ways of hosting a FAN6 event, because we really wanted to be live, to be on site here in Shanghai. And I know that many people that voted for us 2 years ago, they did it because they wanted to visit the city. So we are now, we couldn't wait any longer, so we decided to go on Zoom. But what about FAN6? We have 20 minutes now before the break, the lunch break. And does anybody have any idea of what could happen for a FAN6 event? Maybe someone can say, yes, I want to host it in my Fab Lab. I can do it an offline, online event. Someone, Rico says that the metaverse seems like a buzzing word, but it could be okay. Maybe we can think about a metaverse for the FAN event. Maybe it could be the experience that Ted had with the Maker Faire. Anybody has got some ideas about a possible evolution? This is open to everyone, and not only for the presenters, but open to all of the people in the room, audience as well.
Yeah, if I can expand on the metaverse thought.
Nico, go.
Yeah, so the assumption right now is that the FAN event needs to occur at one location every single year. Assuming worst case scenario, this COVID situation never goes away, maybe there is a way to have the FAN event be in multiple locations, meaning let's say it's a 3-day event. Each day it's hosted by a different location, and we can do it in this sort of metaverse or hybrid way. So what we discovered this year is that when it's one location trying to do this, it's a lot of work for that one location, but maybe the work could be broken down and shared amongst several nodes. So let's say it's 3 days and 5 nodes decide to participate, each node dealing with half a day of content. It might be something, a really interesting way for us to make the best out of a bad situation.
That's interesting. That could be something I'm thinking now. Something like the Maker Faire that Ted did is like a Zelda. It looks like Zelda, or like Super Mario. I don't know, like one of these 80s, 90s video games where you walk around in a map.
Well, let me add to that. I mean, as much as I love the coolness of that, one thing that I think has made this event really great is we get to see each other's faces again. We haven't seen each other in a long time. So being able to talk very, can we combine that Nintendo thing with live interactions like this as well? I think that would be the challenge to make this really worthwhile.
Yeah, what I was thinking is that the Nintendo thing is just the website, like the landing platform. And then you have Philippines, China, Japan, and then you can walk around, you can get inside. And then when you get inside, you see a Zoom room like this with all people talking. And then there is a workshop room. So it could be like a nice platform, like a nice looking or fancy looking platform to basically do a Zoom conference, but each like, let's say each region is imagine there is a map of Asia. You, Japan, you take care of organizing something in this part of the map. And if I click on your, I don't know, sake making brewery, I get in and there is some event from Kamakura. And if I go to the Baozi shop or the noodle shop, it looks like a noodle shop, I get into the Shanghai area. And so we take care of making some content here. You guys from Philippines, you organize your own content there, because that is true that it is a lot of work to receive the video, upload the video, make sure who is this person, when you have time to do, blah, 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 and uploading the schedule and so on. So it could be even a greater event if everybody has his own thing to share. It could be a hot pot. It could be like I really like this idea of the hot pot for some reason, maybe because I like to eat. But it could be like a big hot pot where everybody is an ingredient. I don't know. Who feels like a FAN6 could be hosted by the whole network? You can like say, turn on your screen and say yes, or you can write it in the chat. And maybe we could have also that's nice. How do you do this, Rico? How do you do that?
You can go to reactions. So down at the bottom of the screen, yeah.
Okay, I do a reaction too. Kai is also reacting. That could be an interesting way to do a next event. Also to host workshop. I want to host a workshop. I just put up the little I don't know actually, because I never used this. Ted, is it a possible thing with your the thing you use for the Maker Faire?
Yeah, I think it's pretty much similar. They have the function like what you're saying. It's you can go to some private private room, like people just like when people enter your booth, there's just you can just hurt people and you can see them in face, like inside the Zoom.
Mm.
So another thing is I want to say is like just based on my experience, like I think the online event should be very different than the real in-person event, because like in-person event, it's when you are entering like a lecture hall, like you're listening to somebody, you cannot just walk away. It's too impolite. but online event should be more interactive, like to encourage people to talk. But there's also a limitation, like normally you cannot talk to more than 10 people at the same time. That's a difference. That's a very big difference.
I proposed in the past that when we have Zoom meetings, everybody should have their cameras on. But some people don't like that idea, but that could be something. If you enter a room, you got to show your face.
Right. That's very.
Actually, yesterday during the workshop session, I had on my phone a earphone on one Zoom room on my phone. On my computer, I had the headphone on another Zoom room, and then I was in the room with another Zoom room. So I was listening to 3 Zoom conference and not understanding 3 things at the same time. But still, the idea, I think also the idea of the workshop that we are doing now is that, okay, in a real event, you go and do the workshop and that's the event. But in this kind of online thing, the recording, I think, is the important thing. Actually, some of the talk yesterday, they were recorded, but still people going and seeing. And then there is the question and answer. So it's a mix of pre-recorded content, live moment when you can talk about it, and all of this is recorded and is online. And if you are from a different time zones, we don't have, basically we have nobody from the Americas, because it's not so easy with the time, and also from Europe. They can go and they can see the recording. So if you have a space like an online metaverse where you can easily find the content and share the content, then it's I think it's feasible and it's interesting. Yeah, Jeff want to share something?
So I try to explain. This is some video that we did from last competition, because we have a lot of students from all over the place. So we built the Minecraft society in the virtual reality. So you can see Shanghai, Kunshan, Shenzhen, Taipei, and we also actually built a lot of model for different cities to represent different cities. You can see, the Shanghai as a background, but also we kind of doing something really just beyond the reality. So that is something we kind of have a another word. This I think it's Shenzhen. So there's also some like Hong Kong moments. That is something I think in the future we can also think about. Every lab, the city, we can build some model in the in the virtual world. Then also like the graduation ceremony for the I think UC Berkeley, they did. Everyone has a little figure, what's that called? The little figure that represent avatar. Yes, it was really fun. Everyone just jumping and meet people, but also we have physically, like these kind of also physical connections, so we can still see each other face to face. So
I think this can actually become like I mean, this thing stays, right? So you can, it's like it's still online, so you can still go and see it. What if the FAN event is just a moment where we use a Fab Lab metaverse that is always there? Actually, this is going back to what what was the name? Ted helped me. The video that, I mean, the Fab Lab, in the Fab Lab chapter, you have to have a video connection always on, right?
Oh, you mean
The MCU, right? We
it
call
is-
it, before Zoom, before Jitsi, before Blue Jeans, we were using the MCU, and it was a camera always on in every Fab Lab. And the idea was that you could go and say, hey, hello, is there anybody in this Fab Lab? I want to ask you a question. Someone can go and say, yes, I'm here, hello. So we used to have the MCU always on, always connected in the Fab Lab. Then it slowly died, like people were not always connected, or the camera was off and so on. But what if we have a metaverse for the Fab Lab network where it's always there? I have some content, I put it on. It's a different way of using sharing platform. Is a more, I don't know, it's an experiment. We could try to do it. And then the fun event is these 2 days, 3 days, we are all there and we are all pushing content and we are all in camera and we are all seeing each other. That could be one thing. I don't know. I have no idea how to do it because I know nothing about programming software.
I think we need to put together a.
Sorry, Rico, I didn't get it.
Sorry, I think my connection was bad. We need to put together a small work group, maybe one person from 3 or 4 different countries, and we can test this out over the next month or so.
Yeah, we should. So we have to keep this topic going. Okay, I think that we are at an interesting discussion this morning. We have 5 minutes left. So let's see. Thanks, first of all, thanks to all of the presenters this morning. We had a very interesting sharing. Thank you, Arundhati. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Yongwoo. Thank you, Ted. And thank you also, Thomas, for jumping in and saying hello. And some announcement. We are going to have a break now until 1:30 here Shanghai time. Then we are going to have 2 workshops and 4 talks. We are going to have workshop 1 is Nicholas from Fab Lab Shanghai is going to show us how to use cyanotype painting. We are going to have Aliza that is going from Fab Labo Shanghai. She's making a workshop showing how to teach students how to make stools, stool design. Then we have a talk from Pradnia about the Rural Independent Fab Lab. A talk possibly, we are not sure if Nuria can be live, a talk about Fab for education. This will be confirmed later. Then we have Pamela Martello. She was a graduate of Fab Academy here in Shanghai. She's a jewel designer that after Fab Academy, she starts including digital fabrication in jewelry making and jewelry design. So Fab tools for jewelry design. And then we have Rentor Cafino, which from Philippines, which is showing how to use 3D printing in otorhinolaryngology. I did these words, it's very difficult words, but I did it right. Then we will have another little short break, and we will see everyone again in this main room for the closing ceremony and the party, which is going to be here. We are going to make a hot pot, if I'm not wrong. We're going to have a real hot pot. You are welcome to join in, open your camera, show us what you are doing. You can bring your own drinks, wear a hat, do whatever you want. We are going to do, I hope that you can unmute and speak and show us what you are doing. And I think that we should have now one more Fab exercise. Do we, Aliza? Do we have another Fab exercise? This time we are, yeah, so yesterday we had square dancing. We have Guanchan Wu. And today, what do we have? Qigong. Okay, so come. We have a little exercise and then break, and we'll see you at the first workshop, the first 2 workshops starting at 1:30. So what do we have? It's a video. relax. Feel, stretch, and relax. Okay, I will let everybody keep going with the lab exercise and see everyone at the first workshop at 1:30. First two workshop at 1:30. Then we have 2, 2:30, and 3. Then see you everyone again at 4 in the main room. See you later.
搭腕，开弓，并步，搭腕，开弓，并步。 开弓，并步，搭腕，开弓，并步，搭腕，开弓。 调理脾胃，须单举，上举，下落，上举，下落，上举。 下落，上举，下落，上举，下落。 上举，五劳七伤往后调，起身，后调，转正，起身，后调。 正，起身，后调，转正，起身，后调，转正。 身后调，转正，起身后调，摇头摆尾去心火，上坡，下按。 右倾，左旋，摇头摆尾，左倾，右旋，摇头摆尾，右倾。 左旋，摇头摆尾，左倾，右旋， 摇头摆尾，右倾左旋，摇头摆尾，左倾右旋，摇头摆尾，上举，两手攀足固肾腰，上举，下按，反穿摩运，攀足，上举，下按，反穿摩运，攀足，上举，下按，反穿摩运，攀足，上举，下按，反穿摩运，攀足，上举，下按，反穿摩运，攀足，上举，下按，反穿摩运，攀足，上举，攒拳怒目增气力，抱拳，攒拳怒目抓握，回收，攒拳怒目抓握，回收，攒拳怒目抓握，回收，攒拳怒目抓握，回收，攒拳怒目抓握，回收，攒拳怒目抓握，背后七颠百病消，提踵颠足，提踵颠足，提踵颠足，提踵颠足，提踵颠足，提踵颠足，提踵收势，两掌合于腹前，体态安详，周身放松，呼吸均匀，气沉。